Well, hello, everyone. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Thank you for joining me. I'm Tomás Garza, and this is A Course in Miracles 365, Awakening to Love. All right, welcome. Thank you for tuning in here. So, as you may have seen yesterday, this is not my typical office surrounding. My wife, Cindy, and I are traveling for the next week and a half. We will be in Western Oregon. Now, this is where Cindy is from, and I spent actually 23 years of this lifetime living here in the Willamette Valley. So we're about 40 miles south and west of Portland here. It's wine country, it's beautiful, and we're here to visit some friends and family, and we're here for an annual camp out. That's a lot of fun. And we did not get to go last year. It's over the Labor Day weekend, which is this coming weekend here in the United States. It's the first Monday in September and the weekend preceding that, which is coming right up. Yes. So that's what we've got going on here. And we're here for the next week and a half. So, in terms of this program, I've got a dog that's coming in. Nope, it's not the dog. We have a house full of people, hence the phones, because there's a workout on downstairs. Cindy, hey. Cindy says hello. She actually has time to pop in and wave to you, because even though I've got these headphones on and the microphone, because there's some kind of program going on downstairs. School has not yet begun here in this part of the United States. So yeah, kids are at home. They're Cindy's grandkids. Say hello. Yes, the cameo. I threw that in for free. She's actually a celebrity, and we had to really negotiate with her agent to get her on camera for today. Now, she made an appearance yesterday. She graced us with her presence, but yeah, anyway, just kidding. Just kidding, guys. All right. So, welcome here. As you see in the comments to this live stream here today, we've got a really uplifting and a very powerful idea. So, I want to get into that in a second. First, I will be on the camp out this weekend. So, the next time you see me will be the middle of next week. But never fear, I will be back. And I will still be going through A Course in Miracles. So, wherever you are, whatever your spiritual practice looks like, I want to invite you to realize that you're tuning in to this broadcast today for a reason. There's something here that you are called, no doubt, unequivocally, you're called to learn and to take from this time today. So, when you hear what you'll hear, what you're supposed to hear, it will resonate with you very strongly. That's the way it works. And you might find yourself watching this thinking, well, I wonder what this message is for me today. That's always a good attitude coming into a broadcast, especially if you haven't watched this show very much. Now, some of you, and I thank you for this, tune in regularly. And this show has been going almost every day here on Enlightened World Network since January. So here we go with the idea from the workbook for students today, which is lesson 156. Now, lesson 156 says, I walk with God in perfect holiness. I walk with God in perfect holiness. Now, this lesson follows very naturally from yesterday's idea, which is I will step back and let him lead the way. I walk with God in perfect holiness. The two are really conjoined. And as you are finding here in this workbook, every idea is so similar that you could really make the argument that they're the same idea. If that's dawning on you, that's good. because that's the way it's designed. So there is an idea, a very well-known and famous statement here in A Course in Miracles, that ideas leave not their source. Let's explain that. This is important. Ideas leave not their source. So when something is created or thought, it is created wholly. This is the way God creates. It's an extension of everything that He is. The Son of God, you, me, everybody, all of us, the Son of God is an extension of God. So our true nature as an idea, as a thought extension, we're often referred to in A Course in Miracles as the thought of God. Now, isn't that a bit more uplifting and powerful than a frail body composed of 80% water that is going to degenerate, decay, and turn into, well, a pile of muck or nothing? Yeah, it's a lot more exciting, isn't it? It's also true, which I hope gives you comfort, a lot of comfort and inspiration. Ideas leave not their source. The extension of God partakes of all of the attributes of God. It is in God, same as. Therefore, today's idea would make perfect sense, wouldn't it? I walk with God in perfect holiness. Now let's talk about this idea in conjunction with yesterday's idea, which is I will step back and let Him lead the way. So spirituality talks about getting out of our own way. It talks about this all of the time. Every world spiritual tradition says this in one way or another. Why? Because we're not able to lead ourselves. Now, here in the human realm, we have all kinds of material, don't we, about leadership. We have corporate leadership retreats. We have people that specialize in leadership on Twitter. We have transformational leadership development. We have all kinds of focus on leadership. But we find that in the world, we don't know 100% of the time what to do in any given circumstance, do we? It's actually quite natural. Why? We're not letting our higher self do the leading. We're not letting God lead the way. We're not allowing the Holy Spirit, Jesus, the angels, your guides, whatever you call your guide or guides, whomever, we're not allowing truth to lead the way. We're not allowing our higher self to lead. We're trying to do it all ourselves. And what do we have? A pandemic. Yeah. It's not the first in the history of the world, that's for sure. It's not going to be the last either. We have a pandemic. We have political, call it dialogue, is perhaps inaccurate. Yeah, we have a hyperpolarized society in the United States, for sure. We have hyperpolarized societies all over the world. We have forces that appear to be opposing one another. We have violence. We have people berating one another on social media at all times just because they can. So really, how's leading ourselves working out in any way? It's going to continue to do this as long as we identify with the ego. The good news is coming at you live right here today. Ideas leave not their source. You have never left your source. It has never left you. That is impossible. What we're doing is we're awakening to that. Now, yesterday, I will step back and let Him lead the way. It means we get out of our own way and allow, in A Course in Miracles, the Holy Spirit or Jesus to lead the way for us. So allow your guides, your higher self, the universe, truth with capital T, God, Buddha, your teachers, human or non-human, step back and allow him, I'll just use the word him, it's just a word, allow him to lead the way. All right. When you do that, truth goes before you. That was from yesterday's idea. From today's idea, it's light, truth, light, same. God goes before you. Now, how is your experience different? Well, what happens is when you step back, the light in you steps forward. This is verbatim from today's idea, lesson 156. When you step back, the light in you steps forward. This is what people recognize. This is what every living thing recognizes. They recognize themselves, capital S. You're allowing that to lead. Therefore, you might have the experience of being approached by people, of being loved, of being adored. And it's not the ego that deserves credit for that. The ego doesn't exist. The ego would love to claim credit for that, thinking, oh, aren't you special? You're so special. You're such a celebrity. Well, no. People are recognizing the light that you've allowed to lead the way. They're recognizing themselves. Same as you, by the way. This is one way of looking at the statement that we're all one. People recognize their higher self. They recognize God in you when you allow yourself, your ego, to be left aside, to step back and allow. This is one look at the spiritual practice of allowing, which so many people talk about. So many. And ideas leave not their source. So when we step back and allow him to lead the way, we walk with God in perfect holiness. Perfect holiness, let's talk about that. We're created perfectly. Which, if you're doing the verbal math, has to equate to you are not a body. Because this thing, it may be really intricate and it might be fascinating and beautiful at times and energetic and fun at times, but is it always? Of course not, right? There are things in the world like sickness, like a pandemic, yeah, like gray hair, like achy joints, scars, bones and joints that have been surgically repaired. That you might have a lot of hardware from a former accident or an injury. I do. My left hip is completely, not the joint, but the bone surrounding it, it has been completely surgically repaired from a car accident. The body does not last. And the sooner we really, truly accept that, the better and the more fun we're going to have, paradoxically enough, on the spiritual path. Because we're not trying to put a bunch of effort into preserving what actually runs itself. When you give it over to your guides, when you step back and let him lead the way, the body becomes what it is meant to be, a communication mechanism, a way for you to reach others in the world, to meet them on the level that they're operating on, and communicate to them, extend love, allow the light to lead the way so that they may recognize it, yeah? This is what you are to do. It's what I'm to do. It's what I'm doing. Mhm. So what will this look like for you? Well, it may not look like having a live stream that's broadcast to a worldwide audience. It may not look like offering online classes about A Course in Miracles, which I do. It may not look like someone else's walk, right? You have your own appointed role to play. So I invite you, in fact, I insist that you ask the question, what am I to do? What is my appointed role? How do I show up and lead? Yeah, world needs you. We all need you. Right now, we need you. We need you yesterday, right? So A Course in Miracles is very, very clear that we all have need of teachers of God. Now, you don't have to hold yourself out as a teacher like I do. You do not have to have a degree, a worldly degree in education or teaching in order to be a teacher. Why? We're always interacting with people, whether it's virtually or in person. It doesn't make any difference. We're always extending energy to people. Now, either we're showing them love, either we're extending love, in other words, we're allowing the light of God to go before us, God love, same, or we are identifying with the ego and we're communicating fear. Everyone responds to our communication. We respond to one another's vibe. So, what vibe are you giving out? Every single person in the world wants you deep down to extend love. It's what we all want, even if we may find ourselves in circumstances of combat and hyperpolarization and warfare. All right. This is a call that you've heard. You're watching Enlightened World Network. You're watching a show about A Course in Miracles. You have heard the call. Rest assured, you have heard it. The question is, will you answer it? We'll leave you with that one. All right. So let's take a look. We've got a couple people here watching. So I'm going to pull up the comment thread and feel welcome to say hello, guys. If you have any questions or comments about today's material or anything in the course, well, frankly, or spirituality in general, ask me because we're live and I'm right here. All right. So hello, everyone that's tuning in here. And Sandra, hi, how are you? And Allison is watching. Thank you guys for tuning in here today. Please let me know if you have any questions. And if you all are catching me on the replay today, please, again, feel welcome to say hello here in the comments. Type in any questions or comments that you may have. Some days we have quite a few of these, and some days we have none at all. And yeah, whatever that is, you're watching this for a reason. What is that reason? And what are you meant to hear? What are you meant to gather and take away from this material? Because the world needs you at your best. You going to answer that call today? Everyone you know is waiting for you to do just that. All right. So, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. So it's Thursday here in North America. Camp out starts tomorrow. So I will be back next week, the middle of next week here. Where we're going is pretty much a Wi-Fi free zone. So it's going to be a nice break in nature. We're going to float the river. We're going to enjoy time with some close friends, and it's going to be really wonderful. So I will see you all next week, and I hope that you have a very wonderful next few days, next weekend. And again, the question, what were you meant to hear today? How are you going to show up and extend love today? And then how are you going to show up and extend love tomorrow and the day after that and that and that get where I'm going with that. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. We will see